Yes, Monza. Welcome to the race preview for the Italian Grand Prix. And personally for me, this is my favourite Grand Prix of the year. I know people have some complaints about the track and the racing over the years, that it's just a DRS train and it's boring. But this place is the temple of speed. It is the place where every year when I was a kid, I watched this, and the crowd going onto the track at the end of the race, the Tifosi going mad, whether a Ferrari's won or not, is just ingrained in my head as an F1 fan, and it's one of those things I look forward to every year. And this year is going to be different. We have the return of sprint qualifying, so we get the sprint race essentially on Saturday. So tomorrow is slightly later. We get one practice session, and then we get the qualifying for the sprint race, which will be good. And I think that it's going to offer up a number of variables for the main protagonist in this race. Of course, Max Verstappen won last time out at Zandvoort, and Lewis Hamilton was second. So who's going to be the fastest this week? Well, I'm quite confident, and after reading a few reports from various teams on the grid, Mercedes seem to be the most confident that they can, come out on top here against Red Bull. I think their car has shown in the past that around Monza it has always went really well. I think back to 14, 15, 16 was great. 17 I think was the most complete that Mercedes has ever been around Monza. It was on rails. I always remember Hamilton and Bottas looking at each other after the race going like, that was fast. And again, 2018 it proved Hamilton had come through and win the race. 19 with Leclerc, it was still there with Hamilton and Bottas. And then we look at 2020, if it wasn't for Hamilton getting the penalty, which I'm not complaining about because Pierre Gasly won last year, which was just amazing. We have a car that has went very well around Monza each time we've came here in this era of Formula 1 cars. So I do think that Mercedes will be very strong. I think Red Bull will be right there, of course, as well. Verstappen will just always be fast. He's never out of touch when it comes to a race weekend. Perez, Bottas, can they play great wingman roles? I don't know. I think that these two have just shown on a Sunday that they can turn it up and just disappear from the rest of the pack. Looking further down the line, we have Ferrari, McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpine, AlphaTauri, that midfield battle. Who do I think will come out on top? Head says Ferrari. My heart says McLaren. I think that McLaren's car is so fast in straight line. It is, I think from checking the numbers in the speed trap, it is by far the fastest car with that Mercedes engine. So looking forward to seeing how they will go. Can AlphaTauri, can Pierre Gasly continue this magical run of qualifying? Of course, last year's winner. I do believe that he'll get inside the top 6 again in qualifying. It's just, I don't know, in the race, can he hold position? If it's anything like last year and some slices of miraculous luck fall into his lap, I wouldn't be surprised if Gasly was challenging for the top 4, pressing the McLarens and the Ferraris really hard. And then the Alpines and Aston Martins. I think that Aston Martin will be okay. They tend to get better as the race weekend goes along in the race, and they run a longer strategy. The Alpines, again, they're up and down. In practice, they're really fast, and in the race, they kind of drop away. But I do think that they'll be faster this weekend. And then we have teams further down the grid. We have Alfa Romeo, Williams, and Haas. Who do I think will come out on top on that? I do think Russell will go really well this weekend. Of course, the news of him joining Mercedes is dominating the headlines, but I do think Russell will get inside the top 10 in qualifying. I do think he will get into Q3. And, of course, the beautiful liveried Alfa Romeo as well. If you haven't seen it, I'll put it on screen now. That car will be drove by Robert Kubica, who stands in for Kimi Räikkönen and Antonio Giovinazzi as well. So, who do I think will win the race? I do think Lewis Hamilton will win this one. And I think it will be a Mercedes 1-2. I think Valtteri Bottas who is now signed with Alfa Romeo, a multi-year deal from 2022 onwards, will be freed of his constant pressures, and he will get second, and I think Max Verstappen will come home in third. Let me know your thoughts below, and make sure to subscribe to Crash F1 for more content. Until Sunday, I will see you then.